Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Dumpcast. Today's topic, pretty straightforward, anxious. The last one was nervous, this one is anxious, and I'm one more time it's a pattern. One more time that I do something like this and it's a pattern. And then all I can talk about is I'm kidding, I'm not going to talk about my emotions over and over again. It's just what I'm feeling right now. Currently, it is July 3rd. And if you live in America, you know that throughout the night you will not get any sleep, especially if you live in a cityscape area. There's going to be so many loud bangs. And where I live, I'm quite used to loud bangs, but not this often, and I'm not too excited about it. See, today I was supposed to go for like an hour and a half drive to go see somebody. And I worked a 6-hour shift. Not too bad. But I was super tired. I have an ant infestation at my house, and I was sleeping in my bed, and I felt something itch on my back, and I brought my hand back, and it was an ant, and no one wants to see that, and I've got bites on my arms, and needless to say, I woke the whole house. Oh, dear Lord. I'm sorry. Bugs are cool. I'm not gonna sit here and say that bugs should die, because that is rude, that is mean, and they do a lot for our society. Bugs are great, and you can quote me on that. But bugs in my room are hell spawns and can die. I hate them so much. This is my area. This is my space. You cannot be here. I don't know what makes you think you can be here. I don't pay rent, neither do you, but that doesn't matter because this is my room, and it's my birthright, so stay out. But they keep making their ways in, and before you say anything, alright, I'm not nasty, I'm not gross, I don't eat food in my room. I don't know how they came here. I mean, there has to be a reason. Somehow, they found their way into my room, and I've got ant traps and crap, so hopefully they'll be taken care of and everything. But that ruined me. That ruined me that night. I haven't got a good night's rest in a while, and so one thing you should know about me is I don't like to drink caffeine. I used to drink caffeine constantly. I would have the Mountain Dew Rise energy drinks, if you heard of them. Yeah, gross. Out of all of the different energy drinks, I chose the Mountain Dew one with the lion on it because I thought the geometric lion was cool, and it gave me severe anxiety. To the point where I was in college, and I was drinking maybe like one a week a minimum. And I know that doesn't sound a lot to some of you crazy fucks out there drinking like 3 a day. I see you Celsius bitches out on... Okay, that was rude. Calm down. You lovely Celsius ladies drinking 3 a day? That is 200 milligrams of caffeine. You are overdosing on caffeine. Get help. I did. Look at me. I'm still anxious. This is why I'm talking here today. Just do better for your children. How are you gonna have children one day? Huh? You're probably fine, actually. I don't know what caffeine does to that kind of function. Nothing. It probably does nothing. You're probably good. Just for the sake of all things holy, stop drinking 3 Celsiuses a day. But I would drink one Rise a week. That was like 180 milligrams of caffeine, and I was okay with that until I realized that I was really anxious, and I was not having a good time. I can't tell if this is muted on. Okay, it's not muted. My bad. Anyway, so yeah, I was super anxious, and I started seeing a counselor at my college for this, and we were talking, and I'm like trauma dumping on this poor woman who is probably underpaid. I'm so sorry, Anna, if you're out there. My bad. Actually, my parents' bad, and my general situation bad. I am never at fault. I am, but maybe I am. Shut up. You're not even a no, okay, don't this Anna. She's a lovely woman. Lovely woman. Great person. Helped me through a hard time in my life. Should get a raise. Give her a raise. Anyway, I was anxious, drinking caffeine all the time. If it wasn't Rise, I was drinking a crap ton of pop as well, which is also not good for you. And I told her, like, I get, like, my heart gets racing, I start freaking out, and I don't know what to do about it. I feel like I'm going to fail my classes, which I was not even close to failing any of my classes. I was just being a little whiner baby about it, because I was so used to getting good grades in high school, so I was like, this guy get good grades here, right? That's how it works. It's not. You're learning completely different topics, and it's completely normal to not do so good in college, like your first few years, and be like, oh wow, this is crazy. This is a completely different way of learning that no one has ever taught or shown you before. So of course you're gonna have a hard time adjusting, and sometimes it takes a long time to adjust to it. And my way of coping was drinking an energy drink, and then just busting out homework and not planning ahead of time, not studying, and then it'd be like the night before the exam and I'm reading an entire, like, 500-page chapter. That's an exaggeration, but anyway, it's in one night. That's not gonna get you anywhere. That's not gonna teach me anything. I did not do good for my first psychology course, and I warned all my friends, because it's kind of like a gen ed. A lot of people have to take. It's just like one Psych 101 class, and my friend had also had some trouble with the Psych 101 class as well, and I told her, well, don't feel bad. This is something that is going to be my major, and I did bad in it, but that's can be the professor's fault. Don't get me wrong. Professors can be at fault for teaching sometimes. They can be bad at it. But it also was partially on me. I didn't do the reading. I didn't do very well in that class because I didn't do the reading. And he would lecture, and then I would have to go back and read the chapters. And you were supposed to, like, class is done, now you read the chapter. Then the next day happens, class is done, read the chapter. It was an online class. It was not a good idea for me to take an online class my first year. And it got me severely into caffeine. So much so that I got anxiety. And my counselor told me, hey, maybe your anxiety is from you drinking so much caffeine. And here's the part that just kind of gets people in my life sometimes is my friend, she tells me every time that I would have like an episode that I'd be freaking out, I'd be anxious, I'd be so scared and so concerned about the future, existential crisis, spiraling, whatever you want to call it. And she would tell me, hey, stop drinking energy drinks. It's making you, like, freak out. And I told her, yeah, you're probably right. And then I continued to drink energy drinks. And then the second my counselor tells me, hey, stop drinking energy drinks, I'm like, wow, you are so smart. You have a degree and I should listen to you. I'm going to listen to you, and then I'm not going to drink Rise energy drinks anymore, ever again. So I stopped drinking them, and then today happened, and I drank one, but it wasn't a Rise, it was a Monster. It was different, alright? I got it for free, so I thought, I might as well drink it, because I'm about to go for an 1.5-hour drive, and then I can drive there and not die. Either drink the caffeine and not fall asleep at the wheel, or don't drink the caffeine, fall asleep at the wheel, which is not the only options you have. There's a third option. It's take a dang nap. Just nap it out 30 minutes. Power nap. You're good. Or maybe find out a way so that you don't have to drive that while you're super tired. Go to bed and then go up and do it in the morning. But I didn't choose that. I chose to drink a Monster, and now I'm anxious, and there's big boom boom noises outside, and I am hiding away in my room because I'm afraid, and I'm all alone in the house, just me and the mouse. I'm scared, but I'm hanging in there. I wish I had one of those hanging in there cat posters. No, I don't. Are they tacky? Are we over that, or is it still like an ironic thing that we're into? Do we still like the cat poster of him hanging in there? Is it cute? Or is it just weird? Or is it overdone? Some things can be overdone. Like this conversation that I'm having with myself. I am so tired of being anxious, so I genuinely want to stop drinking caffeine. I want to stop drinking pop. I don't drink pop anymore. I will drink non-caffeinated pop, like Sprite or Sunkist. I think Sunkist is uncaffeinated. But it's just... it tastes good. You grow up your entire life drinking this thing, and then you tell me that I can't have it anymore? Who do you think you are? You're not even if you are my mom, I'm not gonna listen to you. I'm an adult. I can make an adult decision and drink pop and get extremely anxious and make it everybody else's problem. That's the issue. That's the issue, is you drink the pop, or the caffeine, you get extremely anxious, and now it's everybody else's problem. You're becoming a nuisance to your friends, and no, your friends probably don't think you're a nuisance. But, dang, do you feel like a nuisance. Once again, anxiety is getting at you, and it's making you feel like a nuisance to your friends. So, just save yourself the trouble, and don't drink the caffeine, and find a third option. But now I can't fall asleep. And here's a bigger issue, is that tomorrow I have to drive 3 hours to go on vacation. And I can't sleep now. And I'm anxious because all I hear is loud banging, and I'm expecting someone to just walk in the door, even though it's locked, deadbolt and everything. And I'm expecting them to walk through the door and just get me, man. Just grab me. Just freaking got. I don't want to get got. I don't. I would like to stay ungotten. This is supposed to be the eve of freedom. July 4th is tomorrow. I am supposed to be free, and now I am only freaking out. Alright? This isn't fair. This sounds like I am literally doing cocaine. I am not. Is caffeine from cocaine? Do you get caffeine from coke? Where does caffeine come from? Why aren't people asking these questions? I'm genuinely getting upset about this. Where does caffeine come from? And why did I just decide to consume it one day? And when did they start putting caffeine into drinks? Is it because they couldn't put coke in it anymore? Is that why? Because some snitch said no to the coke? And now we can't put coke in our coke anymore? It don't make no sense. It's stupid. It's dumb. Don't put cocaine in drinks, though, actually, because... Or is that what they want us to think? Have you done cocaine? No, don't do cocaine. Don't do cocaine. And it's not even funny. It's not even a joke. I'm not even being funny about it. You just genuinely should not do cocaine. It's a bad thing to do. I want the best for whoever is listening. Because you are sitting here and listening to a rambling person on the internet. And maybe you're not, and I'm just talking to nothing, and that's fine too. I can talk to nothing. I'm good friends with nothing. We do this all the time. So, I'm fine with that, but I want the best for nothing, and best for you too. 'Cause I don't know, I'm a good person. I've got a good ego. I don't want you to do cocaine. Sue me, okay? Oh. I hope that speech helped you. Alright? I know that one person out there is really struggling, and it just helped you. You're welcome. My bill will be in the mail. I'm not a licensed therapist yet, so we'll see. If I could even get a license after this. That's another thing and that I get anxious about. Is, like, I want to have a presence online and post the things that I want to post and have fun with it, because nothing makes me happier than being able to look back on the things that I used to do as a kid and either cringe Or be like, oh, look at what she was doing back then, that little freak. You did that. But crap, I just lost my train of thought. I don't remember what I was talking about. But yeah, basically, fuck, why can't I think of it? No, you can't do this to me. No. Oh yeah, right. I want to have a presence online. And I don't know if my presence online will affect my job in the future. Because let's be honest with each other here. Me getting a lot of money from doing this isn't gonna happen. You don't just get to go online and do a thing that you think is funny and expect other people to think it's funny. Which statistically, alright, there's like 8 billion people in the world now. There has to be like 1% of the world that has the same sense of humor as me, or less, because I don't even know if I can look back at my own videos and laugh at them. Which, does that entail that I'm funny, or does that just entail that I have someone else's sense of humor, that I'm just talking, but I don't have my own sense of humor? Does that make sense? Do I even have my own sense of humor? Or am I just rambling on for 16 and 37, 38 minutes? Wait, no, those are seconds, my bad. 16 minutes and 43 now. But I'm gonna be doing all this, right? And I'm talking online and doing all these things and saying stuff and just dumping it out. Are my future employers going to see these things and think, what is wrong with you? I'm sorry, but you can't be mentally ill and a therapist at the same time. That isn't right, which should be right. Not because I'm biased about it, I just think it should be okay. I think everyone is just a little bit mentally ill. Don't get me wrong, okay? There are people that are out there living a good life, and I'm not going to deny that to them. Well, I gotta readjust. But there are people out there living a good life. And that's great, and I'm happy for you. That does not mean that you're not mentally ill in some way. There has to be something wrong with everybody. Either that, or I'm just genuinely surrounded by some crazy people. Because I genuinely think that everyone either has a mental illness, or I'm just so mentally ill that I surround myself with mental illness. Or somebody's infecting us with it. And, oh, hi, Nona. My cat just walked by. Hi, kitty. She's a calico. She's very fluffy, and she hates me. And I love it. She lets me give her kisses on the head now. She was anxious. Still on topic. 18 minutes in. But she was a little anxious kitty cat. When we first got her, she was my sister's cat initially. And, then she got anxious about having a cat in a dorm when she's not supposed to have a cat. Well, actually, it's an on-campus apartment. Ooh. And you can't have cats on an on-campus apartment unless they're an emotional support animal. Unfortunately, when you're in college, a lot of people cannot afford to get therapy or some sort of diagnosis to get an emotional support, or to get the paperwork to get an emotional support animal. So they just sneak them in. And that's what Nona was supposed to be. That's a cat. And then she got in a fight with her roommate, and she got really anxious that the roommate would, call in to the RA and be like, hey, she's got a cat. She's not supposed to have a cat. And now she lives at my parents' house. And it's great, because she loves my mom. And she loves me now. She hated me before. She would scratch me all the time. Is that because I don't know boundaries? Or does she hate me? I think the answer is yes. I think she hates me, and I think that I don't understand cat boundaries. But I have been learning, and I've been doing really well. She's taught me many things on how to be good to cats, and so she's let me pet her more, which is great because I like petting her and she's very fluffy. But every time you give her a little kiss on the head, you take like half of the fur with you. And I've tried brushing her, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work, and even if it's a daily brush, she's still so dang fluffy that she is going to get fur all over you and all over the house, and everything is hers now. But she's come a long way. She's very sweet. She's a lovely darling. But she still gets a little anxious every now and again. I don't even remember what I was talking about. But yeah. Got to see a counselor. She basically told me, you have anxiety because you're drinking caffeine. And so I stopped drinking caffeine for a while. It's good. It was good for a while. I'm not going to say that immediately the anxiety went away. I don't think that it will ever go away. I think it's kind of natural for people to be anxious every now and again. You have reason to be anxious sometimes. Or all the time. Especially if you live in a situation where you grew up and it was very anxiety-inducing. And maybe some people can relate to that. Maybe not all people can relate to that, but to those who can, how you doing, man? You doing okay? I'm not. I'm still figuring that out. How you can do okay. Especially staying in a place where you can't really escape it until you get your own house. And I mean, I'm getting there. I'm almost there. But it's still there with you. And even though you can escape the situation, that does not mean that the situation doesn't stay with you, you know? Like, I can go out and try to be like, my past doesn't affect me, I'm fine. I'm a happy-go-lucky kid. But in all actuality, that you are alone with yourself at night. And you gotta think about things that you go through in your life. And that becomes a part of you. And you just have to either learn to cope with it in a healthy manner, or you can let it consume you, or you can learn to cope with it in an unhealthy manner and let that consume you. So, another 3-party option here. But, yeah. I chose the coping, and that didn't get me far, so it always makes its way back around to, oh, geez, man, you gotta learn to find a healthy way to cope and do better and have a good time. I think that everyone should learn how to find healthy coping mechanisms. I've been trying to meditate. Hasn't been working because I keep forgetting to meditate. I even made a little sign for myself that said meditate on it. And I said no, I forgot to do it. And I guess I should put it in something that's more in my line of view, because right now it's just a notebook folded over on the ground that says meditate please. And actually it's on my piano now. Haha. But I do it for like 10 minutes a day. And that's good. Meditation's good. It helps you really clear your head. A lot of people say that if you get really good at it, you can have hallucinations. Or it feels like you're doing mushrooms. I don't get that. Maybe it's because I've never done mushrooms, but also, like, you're just sitting there, man. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I always feel like I'm doing it wrong. Meditation seems like it's such a simple thing to do. Like, just sit there and meditate, you know, think nothing or think about your breathing. Focus in on one thing and just let that be your everything in just that moment, which is great. Because it really helps with your awareness in the room, you know. I never noticed that I was so itchy until I started meditating. Man, oh man, am I itchy. And I get it in my eyebrow and my nose, especially my nose. Back to the cocaine topic. I scratch my nose like I do it. It's a serious problem. Because I don't want my family thinking that I'm out here, you know, doing drugs. I'm severely against doing drugs. Drugs are bad. And you should know that by now. You signed the DARE sign-up sheet, you know? Everybody knows it. They had the guy who came in at lunch or whatever and told you no, and then you did it, right? I'm not the only one. How many people are out there doing drugs right now? Don't raise your hand. I'm just disappointed in you. But just don't look at me and think I'm doing drugs because I'm itching my nose, alright? I itch it so bad, and I refuse to take Claritin. You can't make me pay that money. I don't care even if you're offering it to me for free. I won't take Claritin. I will just push through it because I am just that strong. I'm better than allergies. Got a peanut allergy? Eat the peanut anyway, you puss. And I just push through it. And it's not great, because then I get a million different pimples on my nose, and around my nose, and in my nose, and everything, and it hurts. But it passes. Everything passes. You can just work through it. It's fine. And then it happens again, and then you're annoyed, and how am I supposed to do my job and itch my nose at the same time? You can't. You just can't. Take the Claritin. What's wrong with you? God. Oh, we got a big boom. Somebody's having a finale. I never was really that afraid of fireworks as a kid. My nephew is currently terrified of fireworks. He calls them fire trucks. And every time you mention them, he runs to his mom and cries. Which I'm not gonna be a jerk about it, but it's kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. It is pretty funny. But, I'm also a little bit afraid of forgetting everything as I get older. Not that my family has any, big problems with forgetting things as you get older. That's not really an issue for us. We have a pretty good memory. Oh, it's okay. It's not, above average, but it's average. But I, for some reason, just want to remember everything. And I love living in that one moment with the family. And just looking at everybody and just being like, wow, this is my family and everything is okay. Which is conflicting. Because, also gotta think about the trauma. And you still have that trauma. But that's so hard to live with, is that balance between my parents tend to be okay now. And yet you are still affected by what happened in the past. You can't just forgive and forget, because it, like I said, it sticks with you. But you want to forget sometimes because things get so good and you're like, this is great, and I want to remember that, because you want to remember what little good times you have with your family. Not all the good times are memorable. They're just maybe just sitting and everything's kind of peaceful in the house for a moment, and everything's good, and everything's nice. You should go to bed, you have a dreamless sleep, because that's how dang good it was, or you have a good dream, and you wake up the next day, and it's nice, quiet morning, and you get to eat your cereal, and watch the news, and then you get sad because you watch the news, but, those are less memorable. But those are some still nice moments. But the more memorable moments, those are the times that I want to whip a camera out and record. But I'm also that kind of person that's live in the moment, dude. Put your freaking camera away. I got a steel trap that's standing here. But that's not gonna happen. I'm gonna forget about it. And I'm gonna be really sad when I forget about it, because unfortunately the human mind has a tendency to remember the things that are the worst, which is unfortunate and also very fortunate, because if you don't remember that touching the stove while it's hot hurts your hand, you're going to continue to touch the stove when it's hot, and you're going to keep hurting your hand. But that also leads you to tend to remember the things that, you were growing up, it wasn't great, or things that just happened yesterday that wasn't great. And it sucks that those are the memories that you get to have, that you kind of hold on to because of your parents. And I'm not saying that every parent deserves the good memories, and every parent deserves for you to remember the good memories. They probably don't. Not all parents are the same. But sometimes it's not so much for the parents that it is for you to be able to say, even during those sad times that sucked, you could still be happy and have a good time. Sometimes you need to focus on the good times, forget about the bad times, so that you can continue to be okay. And maybe that's just for the moment, or maybe it's forever, which probably is not a great way to go about it. But it definitely helps, and that's what makes me want to remember the good times, or even make good times. I mean, I currently don't make face content. I don't put my face out on the internet. I like to keep it a little private, but I don't intend on it always staying that way. I would love to get friends together and make videos, and there was a time where I was leaving for college, and I got my friends to come together, and we played die tag in the park. Maybe not a great idea. I made sure it was environmentally friendly die, don't get me wrong. It's just, instead of getting water guns, because they didn't hold enough water, I got 88-cent water bottles, spray bottles from the store, and then I filled them up with red and blue dye, and then we got red and blue bandanas. We're going to ignore the symbolism behind the bandanas, because we're just a bunch of little white kids running around in a suburban area park, so we weren't doing nothing wrong. And we just were spraying each other with dye, but it was kind of like a box tag thing, so we had our boxes, or capture the flag. So you had to go capture their flag, they had to capture your flag, whatever. It was a good time, and I wish that I could have recorded that, because I'll be honest, I don't remember it all. But it is nice to get friends together that were part of that, and go and be like, so, remember when we did that? Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. Here's a thing that I remember. Oh my gosh, I didn't remember that. And now weirdly enough, you have a memory from that time, without remembering exactly it, but you remember someone else remembering it. I would just like to make it more simple and just record it. And that's my idea, is record it, put it out on the channel, and allow it so that my friends can see whenever they want. Instead of having to text me and actually talk to me, coward. Go to my YouTube channel, look at it then. And that'd be fun. It's great. I haven't gotten to that yet. I haven't gotten to face content. I have a camera, don't get me wrong. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm in the right situation to be making face content. First of all, I don't even have a desk. I'm currently sitting on a futon, and my laptop is hooked up to my USB microphone and is sitting on top of a lovely stool. So I don't really have a lot of space to set up an actual setup, because I'm kind of crammed into this walk-in closet room, and I've got this problem where I have a million different instruments in here. Why do I have so many? Because I can't choose a hobby, basically. But I would love to record stuff, and I have a book collection that I want to go over and just kind of talk about it, because a lot of these books are really funky, weird books that I found at Salvation Army, or just at a dollar. I found there's a book section at the dollar store, which is crazy to me. But I found some interesting books, including, but not limited to, Planet of the Apes, How We Recorded It Behind the Scenes book that I gave to my father for Father's Day, because he loves Planet of the Apes, but he did not read it because he hates reading. So, am I a bad daughter? Is he a bad father? I got him a great present. I would love to read it. I actually wonder if he still has it, because I will actually read it. Maybe I'll do a review on that book. Who knows? I don't even remember the Planet of the Apes movie. Or movies, because they have several. I know that they did something to the apes, and we were bad, and I get that. But did we deserve to get the Planet of the Apes? Huh? Probably, actually. I'm not gonna lie. But I don't want to be Planet of the Apes. Don't do that to me. I'm afraid of monkeys. They scare me. No offense, but how are we the superior like animals, huh? How are we the superior species out here? Monkeys could body slam you easily. Dwayne The Rock Johnson would be humbled by a fucking gorilla. One silverback gorilla could take down Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And you can't deny me that. I'm 100% right about that. And I'm afraid of them. Rightfully so, if they were everywhere. The way that humans are. Or not even humans. If they were everywhere like the way, I don't know, what some bird, like one specific type of bird are. If they were on every continent, just roaming around, walking the streets, I would be like a fucking dog, dude. I'd be chained up, front yard, barking at the other, like, gorillas walking down the street. And then they would bang their chest at me and I would shut the fuck up. Because they'd humble me each and every time. I'm afraid of monkeys. And I get it. Are gorillas a type of monkey? Probably not. But I don't care. Because I'm also afraid of regular monkeys. Like that monkey from, what was it fucking called? The Night of the Museum. Night of the Museum, that little guy. He's in like every movie that contains a monkey. And they wear those little diapers and they look at you. Like they know something that you don't. I'm getting a text. Hold on. Wait. Sorry for the cut. I moved too much and I unplugged my microphone. Anyway, I responded to the text. We're good. But yeah. If that little monkey from the Night of Museum, he could own me as well. He is horrifying and he looks... Here's the thing that gets me, okay? When you got a hamster and he's running on a wheel and you pick him up with your hand because he can fit in your palm of your hand just so perfectly. And you look at him and he kind of looks at you with that little twitching nose. You know nothing's going on behind those beady little eyes. You know nothing's going on back there. All he's thinking is food, run on wheel, food, run on wheel. He's not even thinking about making babies. That's not even part of his agenda. You look at that monkey from the Night of the Museum. There's something going on back there. He's thinking something. And I'm scared. I'm scared of him. Because whatever he's thinking is perverted. I can tell. He's gonna get me some way, somehow. One way or another. He's gonna find me. He's gonna get you. One way. Maybe next week. He's gonna fucking snap the brakes. The brake line of my car. He could do that. He's got opposable thumbs. He can cut the brake lines of your car. And you're telling me you're not afraid of that? I had a friend in elementary school that had one as a pet. What is wrong? Which also doesn't make sense either because she was a horse girl. No. What's wrong with that? She was one of those kids that wore a jacket. Like the same jacket every day to school and would check out the horse books. I was one of those kids that wore the jacket every day to school, but I checked out the dog books. We were not the same. But we also needed to take a shower, both of us. I knew a lot of weird kids in elementary school, though. I knew a girl who had a pet pig, and he came in for show and tell one day, which I also met the monkey, by the way. He was wearing one of those little diapers, as advertised, and I was once again afraid of him. I got to pet him, I did not get to shake his hand, and I could tell that he wanted me dead. But the pig, on the other hand, that man just wanted to eat the rug. And I can respect that, because I too wanted to eat the rug. That man, we had an understanding. I didn't eat pork. Not because it's against my religion, just because I respected him so much. That monkey, I can't get that. I can't get on that level. He wants to do things to me that I'm just not okay with. And to anyone who is out there that's like, oh, I love monkeys, they're great. Which, okay, I can understand if you love monkeys in media, where it's like a cartoon monkey, Curious George is the bomb. He's great. He's out here finding things out, which a normal monkey could do. Don't get me wrong. A normal monkey can learn sign language. That's scary. Michael Jackson had a monkey that spoke some signs, understood some signs. He's evolving. And Michael Jackson did that. I don't know if he trained him, but he had that. That's scary. Curious George, he's out there. He's running around with a little wiener dog. That's great. That's awesome. Once again, reminds me of my nephew. He has the intelligence of my nephew. And I think my nephew's pretty smart. He can count to 14. And he's only 2. Or 3. No, he's 2. He's pretty good at that. You're telling me Curious George can do that? He's scary. Curious George is great, though. Because he's running around, he's being a little guy. The Justice Monkey, with his weird mouth, his minimalist look. Great stuff. One thing that instills fear in me as much as real life monkey, though, the fear no evil, or see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil monkeys. Those guys, for some reason, that it's the quote itself that makes me afraid. Because they are talking, first of all, about evil. And I don't like evil. I know. Completely original of me. But they're out here like, not speaking, hearing, or saying it. That just means you're complacent. That means that there is evil to be done and is happening, and you are just being complacent. I'm sorry. But those monkeys, they would watch you get bullied by the other monkeys, and they would just be like, I didn't see it. I didn't hear it. I'm not going to tell you nothing. A-holes. I'm afraid of them. But I also, every time I think of the quote, I think of, like, some old catacomb where there's, like, bones everywhere, and they're just sitting there. Little skeletons of monkeys, candles around them, maybe a hooded figure. My mind goes. It gets curious, like of George. And I get scared. Maybe I just get scared easily. I'd like to think that I don't get scared easily. Sometimes. You know, I got the normal fears. Oh, sorry you had to hear that. I had to burp. I got the normal fears, you know? A little bit afraid of thunderstorms. That's not as normal, but it's common, I feel. You know? Mostly afraid of tornadoes, if anything. Not so much afraid of thunderstorms. I like me a rumble, a little zip-zap from the sky, that's great. But it's what entails of a thunderstorm, you know? You can't have a tornado without a little rain. And I am mortally terrified. I'm just so scared of tornadoes. And living where I am, the only thing that you can really get hit by is a tornado. And I'm scared so much of it. Because I like my things and I like my house. And I like where I am. I don't want that to be getting taken away from me. Because the sky decided to. How ungodly. How is it that we live in a society where we have like everything figured out? I unplugged my microphone again. Anyway, we're just so comfy and okay and everything's great, and then the sky can just decide to take that away from you. And you're telling me that we don't live in a fucking simulation? The sky can just control alt delete your ass. What are you talking about? That's just horrifying. Well, sometimes even the ocean can do that. They can just wipe out the earth. A literal meteor can just come from the sky and immediately turn us into the dust of Jurassic Park. How do you not live every day in eternal fear? You just gotta just forget about that stuff. Just forget about it, because then you don't even leave the house. But then you can think about all the terrible things that could happen if you don't leave the house. What if you don't leave the house and you never get married? You never have kids. You never have a good time. You're probably going to be bored as hell. It's going to be awful. What do you do? How do you come down from this? It seems like the universe is out to get you. There's a million different things that the universe can do to just get you. But you just gotta keep going and just blissfully believe that it won't. The monkeys are not gonna plant the ape my ass. They can't. They're so far away from me. They're out of reach. They're out of touch. I can't shake their little hands. I didn't get an exotic pet as a kid. Got a dog. Think I'll be okay. Because, out of all this time, only the dinosaurs got Jurassic Parked. I think. We can't be too sure. Here's the problem about that, okay? I took a prehistoric life class, alright? I know what's going on here. I know the theories. I know the algorithms. The thing with the crater, right, that we found was half on land, half in the water. The crater where they found that they assume is what the meteor came from, because it's just so huge. It's a huge ass crater, biggest crater that we know of. And they think that this is where the meteor that killed the dinosaurs landed. And there's this whole book. It's great. It's called the T-Rex or something in the T-Rex of Doom. The Doom of the T-Rex. Fuck. Oh, the T-Rex and the Creator of Doom, I think is the name of it. And it's a great read. Very interesting. It goes into depth about the way that they figured out that, or they came up with a theory that the dinosaurs were wiped out by a meteor that not only killed them off from the impact, but also the aftermath of the impacts, the earth being swallowed in smoke from the fires and the debris falling from the sky, right? And there's a million different things that these geniuses did, that they found out how the crater could have killed off such a mass amount of these huge animals and keep only like the little mammals, the little mices boys alive. And after that became popularized and more widely accepted amongst the science community, it suddenly every crater was another mass extinction, because they found things that were also found in the Jurassic Park, not Jurassic Park, but in the crater, the dinosaur crater, like impact. Oh, what is it? Oh, it's where like the quartz gets shocked. And then there's also like spherules, where these little sphere things that show up in the formations and stuff. But anyway, I don't even know how I even got on this rant. I just really like that book. It's a good book. It's very nice. It's a little hard to understand because it's very sciencey, and I'm not a very sciencey person. But I don't even know. That's such a once in a lifetime thing, or even like a once in a millennia thing. But a lot of people started to say that, like, meteor impacts were the way that could kill, like, were the end of an era, Suddenly, mass extinctions throughout, like, these fossil histories were caused by a meteor, which is not always true, because there's also volcanoes that, like, super volcanoes that can do that kind of stuff, which sometimes, and here's another thing, is it can be a combination between maybe a meteor striking, and maybe soon after or before a huge volcano goes off, and there's a mixture between the two, But the meteor impacts, not all of them were as widely accepted, but they're not very common in the Earth because of our atmosphere. We're pretty solidly kind of protected, which is pretty awesome. It's pretty great. Our Earth is just freaking awesome, dude. We're very lucky to be where we are. And so a meteor could come out of the sky and get us. It could. It probably won't. At least not in my lifetime, which is pretty awesome, because I'd like to live my life. So, that's one way of dying kind of ruled out. Tornadoes, you can't really rule those guys out. You could be in for a storm, and then all of a sudden it's tornado weather. Gone. Can't deal with that. But also can't live anywhere else because I wouldn't want to put up with anything other than tornadoes. You can deal with a tornado. A tornado can take the roof off your house and not ruin everything. It can also ruin everything. But, there can be just a tsunami or something. I cannot, will not, can never deal with a tidal wave. I am afraid of the ocean. So afraid of the ocean. I don't want to go out there. I don't want to see what's in there. You're a fool to go to the ocean. Alright? You are messing in the jingles of God's belly rolls out there. I'm not okay with that. I will stay on land. I will stay dry. Maybe a lake or two. I can deal with a lake. Lakes are okay. They're pretty cool. Cool off a little. Fresh water. A little fish nibble at your feet. That's fine. He's not going to do much else. There's no sharks in there. Sharks are actually pretty cool. There's no dolphins in there. That's the one thing you got to be worried about. Rapists of the sea. I probably should not be saying that word. That's not a good word. Not good people either. Just putting that out there. But they're awful. I hate dolphins. And the ocean sucks. And the people that go surfing, you guys are crazy. You guys are wild. Good on you for being able to do that. I'm not going out there. You're telling me that the ocean can just build itself up like a freaking cobra standing up. He's fine when he's laying down, I'm not going to say that the cobra's fine. Cobras aren't scary because they are. But, it makes sense for a snake to be, laying on the ground all the way. But the second that man stands up, you have my attention, sir. You have my everything. Here's my wallet. The second the ocean stands up, it's not a here's my wallet situation. It's a make peace with your God situation. You can escape a snake sometimes. You can play your tricks. You can know little things. The second you're on a beach and a tidal wave forms, you're done. That's it. Pray that a floaty or a lifesaver comes in, or like a helicopter scoops you up. You pray that you just wake up from that nightmare, because that's not happening. You're not gonna survive that. I'm not gonna ever go in the ocean. I'm done. I did it twice. I threw up twice. The thought of orca sperm made me throw up. I will get into the ocean, and I'm sorry, but whales are huge, and so are their schlongs. Their schlongs are so much bigger than me. I'm just a little guy. I'm 5'3", and you're gonna put a whale schlong. He's probably double my size, and what he's putting out is way more than I'm willing to put in. Alright? He's disgusting. And you're telling me I'm going to put that in my mouth? I'm going to put just fish poop in there? Plants can't filter that enough for me to be okay with that. And then not to mention how salty it is. People are like, yeah, salt water. It makes sense. It's salt and water. But no one tells you that it's that much salt. I used to have to gargle salt water. A little home remedy for you. You get strep throat. Gargle salt water. It'll help your throat feel less bad. It could also make you throw up, because that is what I would do. And as a child, you gargle salt water so much because you get strep throat so much because you're nasty. You don't take kindly to a wave that is taller than you, bashing your face in with all that salty goodness. And you're going to tell me that I'm not going to throw up after that? I'm going to throw up. I do not swallow. I spit. It's spit every time. With my whole body. They'd be out there. My family would be out there jumping the waves. It's so much fun. The waves are double my size. I'm not doing that. I'll go in the lazy river. I will look for shells. And I will look at the tide pools. That's it. That is the only time that... You know what? Actually, the beaches are pretty cool. Because then you got all those little tide pools. You get a little fish swimming around in there. And then the birds come down and they get them. That's life right there. Life cycle. Holy crap, that's cool to see. In some situations. Life cycles are not great to see in all situations. Like your dog getting picked up by a hawk. Didn't happen to me personally. I'm just saying it would suck. I hope this episode is not filling anybody who would possibly listen with existential dread or fear. It's just what I'm feeling now. Don't drink caffeine. I think that's our main reason. Don't drink caffeine. If take anything away from this, is don't do that. Don't do drugs, don't drink caffeine. I think it's simple. I ask 2 things of you. That's it. Follow one, at least. Minimum. Scratch your head. I'm itchy again. We should get that checked out. I feel like I've talked enough. I think I'm gonna go. Like this if you liked the video. If you didn't, I don't want to know. Actually. If you didn't actually leave your link to your podcast, and I'll watch your video, and then I'll leave a nice comment, because I'm a good person. In fact, anyone who has a podcast that's small and is watching this video and has gotten this far, thank you for listening. But also, leave your little podcast in the comments below. I will watch it. I'm trying to find new podcasts to listen to. I listened to one, and I don't really like it anymore. I don't want to listen to your true crime crap. I just want a fun podcast to listen to. That's it. And I got a 3-hour drive tomorrow. So give me a nice podcast to listen to. Anywho, I'm gonna skedaddle. Go ahead and drop a subscribe to the Dumpcast. And if you are so inclined to jump over to the Dump Truck channel, I'll leave a link to that at the end of this video probably. I just put out a new video, maybe last week, about boneless wings and chicken wings. If you're interested, hop on and check that out. Goodbye.